You didn't click on this video. Your dopamine receptors did. Your brain saw the title, registered the pattern, philosophical content, dramatic thumbnail, promise of insight, and activated the same neural pathway it uses when you scroll. The same mechanism, the same reflex. You're here because a system inside you decided this might deliver a hit. And now you're wondering if you'll make it to the end without checking your phone. Here's the paradox. You say life is short. You say there's never enough time. You say you're too busy, too overwhelmed, too behind on everything that matters. And yet somehow you found 6 hours today to watch strangers dance in 15-second clips. You found time to scroll through lives you'll never live, places you'll never go, moments that evaporate the second you swipe past them. You have time for that, but not for the work that would actually change your life. Seneca said it 2,000 years ago. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. He wasn't talking about TikTok. He didn't know what a YouTube short was, but he understood the disease. He understood that most people don't live short lives. They live fragmented ones, and fragmentation looks exactly like what you're doing right now. Before we go further, here's a question. How much of your life do you spend in shorts mode? Scrolling, swiping, consuming content you'll forget in 30 seconds. Drop a comment and tell me honestly. Are you stuck in the feed? Hit like if this is making you uncomfortable. Follow the channel if you want to break the loop. Your life is a long-form video, but you're living it like a short, and the cost of that mistake is everything. This is about what happens when a generation trained on 15-second dopamine hits tries to build something that lasts. You think you're choosing what you watch. You're not. The algorithm is choosing for you, and it's not choosing based on what's good for you. It's choosing based on what keeps you here, what keeps you scrolling, what keeps you engaged, what keeps you inside the platform, feeding it data, feeding it attention, feeding it the one resource it needs to survive, your time. And time is not neutral. Time is life. When you give the algorithm 6 hours, you're not giving it 6 hours of free time or downtime or relaxation. You're giving it 6 hours of your existence, 6 hours you will never get back, 6 hours that could have been used to build something, learn something, create something, become someone. Gone, traded for glass beads, for dopamine hits that last 3 seconds and leave nothing behind. Seneca understood this. He lived in Rome, in a world without smartphones, without TikTok, without infinite scroll. But he saw the same pattern. People wasting their lives on things that didn't matter, spending their time, their only non-renewable resource, on distractions, trivialities, shallow pleasures that evaporated the moment they ended. And he warned them. He told them they were living like they had infinite time, like death wasn't waiting, like they could afford to waste decades on nothing. But you can't. You have maybe 60, 70, 80 years if you're lucky, and you're spending them in 15-second intervals. You're fragmenting your existence into micro-moments that don't connect to anything, that don't build into anything, that don't mean anything. You're living a life made of static, of noise, of content designed to be consumed and forgotten instantly. The algorithm knows this. It's designed for this. Every feature, the autoplay, the endless feed, the notification, the like counter, exists to keep you inside the loop, to make sure you never stop, to make sure the next video loads before you have time to think about whether you actually want to watch it. It's frictionless, seamless, addictive, and addiction is not an accident, it's the business model. You are not the customer, you are the product. Your attention is what's being sold, and the buyer doesn't care if you build a meaningful life. The buyer cares if you stay on the platform long enough to see another ad. That's it. That's the entire incentive structure. Keep you scrolling, keep you engaged, keep you trapped. And the trap works because it doesn't feel like a trap. It feels like choice. You think you're relaxing, you think you're unwinding, you think you're just taking a break, but the break never ends. The 5 minutes becomes an hour, the hour becomes 3, the 3 becomes 6, and by the time you put the phone down, the day is over, and you haven't done anything. You haven't built anything. You haven't moved toward any goal that actually matters. You traded diamonds for glass. You gave away irreplaceable time for instantly forgettable content. And the worst part is you'll do it again tomorrow, because the algorithm is patient. It doesn't need you to realize what's happening. It just needs you to keep opening the app. Seneca wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy." He was talking about you, 2,000 years before you were born, he was diagnosing the exact mistake you're making right now. You wouldn't give someone $10 without thinking, but you'll give them 6 hours without blinking. Your life is the currency, and you're spending it on nothing. Your brain is not designed for this. It's not built to process hundreds of disconnected microstimuli per hour. It's not optimized for constant context switching, for jumping from topic to topic with no transition, for absorbing information in fragments that never cohere into understanding. Your brain is built for depth, for sustained focus, for working on one thing long enough to actually comprehend it, master it, build something with it. But you're not using it that way. You're using it like a slot machine. Pull the lever, get a hit, pull again. Swipe dopamine, swipe, like dopamine, like your brain is being trained, rewired to crave novelty over depth, to prefer the new over the meaningful, to seek stimulation instead of understanding, and the cost of that rewiring is catastrophic. You can't focus anymore, not really, not the way focus used to work. You can't sit with a single task for an hour without your hand reaching for your phone. You can't read a book without checking notifications. You can't have a conversation without glancing at your screen. Your attention span has been shredded into pieces so small they're almost useless, and those pieces can't build anything. Empires are not built in 15 seconds. Books are not written in 15 seconds. Businesses are not created in 15 seconds. Relationships are not built in 15 seconds. Anything worth doing requires sustained effort over time. It requires the ability to focus on something difficult, boring, unrewarding in the short term, and stay focused long enough for it to become something. That's how creation works. That's how mastery works. That's how legacy works. But you can't do that anymore, because your brain has been trained to expect a reward every few seconds. And when the reward doesn't come, when the work is hard and slow and doesn't produce instant gratification, you quit, you switch, you go back to the feed, back to the thing that gives you the hit without requiring anything from you. And in doing so, you guarantee that you'll never build anything that lasts. Fragmented mind cannot create depth. It can only consume. It can scroll, react, share, comment, but it cannot make. It cannot sit in the discomfort of not knowing and work through it. It cannot tolerate boredom long enough to discover what's on the other side. It cannot endure the slow, grinding process of turning an idea into reality, because that process doesn't deliver dopamine every 30 seconds. It delivers it eventually, and eventually is too far away for a brain trained on shorts. This is the cost, not just wasted time, wasted capacity. You have the ability to build something extraordinary. You have the intelligence, the resources, the tools, but you're using them to scroll. You're using a supercomputer to watch cat videos. You're using the most advanced biological machine in the known universe to consume content created by people who are using their capacity to build platforms that extract yours. Seneca saw this too, not in the same form, but the same structure. He watched people with potential squander it. He watched brilliant minds waste themselves on trivialities. He watched men who could have been great spend their lives on distractions. And he warned them, it is not that we are given a short life, but we make it short. You are shortening your own life, not by living fewer years. By fragmenting the years you have into pieces so small they become meaningless. Your mind is crumbling, not into dust, into pixels, into disconnected fragments that flicker and vanish, and you're letting it happen because stopping would require discomfort, and discomfort doesn't trend. Everything is faster now, communication is instant, information is infinite. You can access the entire accumulated knowledge of human civilization from a device in your pocket. You can connect with anyone, anywhere, at any time. You can learn anything, build anything, become anything in theory. The infrastructure exists, the tools exist, the opportunity exists. So why are you moving slower than your ancestors? 200 years ago, a man who wanted to build something had to do it with his hands, with limited tools, with scarce resources, with no internet, no tutorials, no communities of support. He had to figure it out alone. And yet, those men built empires, wrote books, created art, invented technologies, left legacies that lasted centuries. They had less access to information and more output. You have infinite access and zero output. Why? Because speed has replaced depth. You can learn anything in 15 seconds, but you can't master anything in 15 seconds. And mastery is what matters. Mastery is what builds. Surface-level knowledge, the kind you get from shorts, from summaries, from bite-sized content, is useless. It's trivia, it's decoration. It doesn't translate into capability. It doesn't make you stronger, smarter, more valuable. It just makes you feel like you're learning without actually learning anything. This is the trap of modern speed. It creates the illusion of progress. You watch a video on philosophy and feel like you understand Stoicism. You watch a video on fitness and feel like you know how to train. You watch a video on business and feel like you could start a company, but you don't, because you didn't actually absorb anything. You just encountered it, and encountering is not learning, it's exposure, and exposure without application is nothing. Seneca would recognize this instantly. He wrote about people who collected knowledge like decorations, who attended lectures, read summaries, discussed ideas, but never applied them, never let them change their behavior, never used them to build anything. He called them dilettantes, people who knew a little about everything and mastered nothing, people who wasted their potential on surface-level engagement. That's you know a little about everything because the algorithm feeds you a little about everything, but you can't go deep because going deep requires you to stop, to focus on one thing long enough to actually understand it. And stopping is the one thing the algorithm won't let you do. The moment you stop, the feed ends, the engagement drops, the platform loses, so it keeps you moving, it keeps you switching, it keeps you shallow. And shallow people don't build empires, they don't create legacies, they don't leave anything behind, they just pass through. They scroll through their own lives the way they scroll through content, consuming, reacting, moving on, never stopping, never building, never existing in a way that lasts. The paradox is that you have more access to speed than any generation in history, and you're using it to go nowhere. You're spending hours consuming content about productivity while producing nothing. You're watching videos about focus while remaining completely distracted. You're learning about discipline while practicing chaos. The tools are there, the knowledge is there, the opportunity is there, but you're not using any of it. You're just watching other people use it. And watching is not living, consuming is not creating, scrolling is not building. You think you're staying informed, you're not. You're staying distracted. And distraction, over time, becomes your entire existence. A life lived in fragments, a long-form existence compressed into short-form thinking. You have the tools for depth, but you're choosing speed, and speed without direction is just noise. There's a way out. It's not complicated, it's just uncomfortable. And discomfort is why most people won't do it. They'll read this, nod, feel the weight of recognition, and then open the app again 5 minutes later. Because knowing the problem and solving the problem are not the same thing. Solving requires sacrifice, and sacrifice is what the modern world has trained you to avoid. The solution is called monk mode, and it's simple: disconnect to reconnect. Disconnect from the feed, from the notifications, from the infinite scroll. Disconnect from the dopamine loop, and reconnect with deep time, with the kind of time that doesn't fragment into seconds, with the kind of focus that doesn't switch every 30 seconds, with the kind of work that builds something instead of consuming something. Monk mode is not permanent isolation, it's temporary immersion. You choose a project, something meaningful, something difficult, something that requires sustained effort, and you remove everything that competes for your attention. No social media, no shorts, no infinite scroll, no notifications, just you and the work, for hours, for days, for weeks if necessary, until the thing is done. This is how empires are built, not in fragments, in blocks, in deep, uninterrupted periods of focus where you can actually think, create, iterate, improve, where you can go from idea to execution without being pulled into 100 micro-distractions, where you can build something that lasts because you gave it the time required to become real. Seneca practiced this without calling it monk mode. He withdrew, he wrote, he thought. He spent time alone, away from the noise of Rome, away from the distractions of politics and social life. He created space for depth, and in that space, he wrote ideas that are still being read 2,000 years later. That's the power of deep work. It doesn't just survive, it outlasts. But most people won't do this, because it feels like punishment. It feels like deprivation. It feels like you're missing out. And you're missing out on distractions, on content that doesn't matter, on dopamine hits that evaporate instantly. And the fear of missing that, the fear of being bored, of being alone with your thoughts, of not knowing what everyone else is doing is enough to keep you trapped. Here's the truth: you're already missing out. You're missing out on your own life. You're missing out on the work you could be doing, the person you could be becoming, the legacy you could be building. You're trading all of that for the illusion of connection, for the feeling that you're part of something, but you're not part of anything. You're just watching, and watching is not participating, it's spectating, and spectators don't get remembered. Monk mode is the reset. It's the choice to stop spectating and start building, to stop consuming and start creating, to stop living in fragments and start living in depth. It's uncomfortable, it's slow, it doesn't deliver instant gratification, but it delivers something better: progress. Real, measurable, undeniable progress towards something that actually matters. You don't need permission to enter monk mode. You don't need a special app or a perfect plan. You just need to decide. Decide that your time is worth more than the algorithm is paying you. Decide that your attention is too valuable to give away for free. Decide that you'd rather build one thing that lasts than consume 1,000 things that disappear. Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live, not later, not when conditions are perfect. Now, because now is all you have, and every second you spend scrolling is a second you're not building. The video will end. The question is, what will you do next?" You're going to die, not eventually, soon, sooner than you think, sooner than feels comfortable to acknowledge. And when you die, the algorithm won't pause, the feed won't stop, the world won't mark the moment, it'll just keep moving, and the only thing that will matter is what you left behind, what you built, what you created, what you did with the time you had. And if all you did was scroll, if all you have to show for your existence is a watch history full of 15-second clips you don't even remember, then you didn't live. You spectated. You consumed someone else's life instead of building your own. And that's not tragic in a dramatic way. It's tragic in a quiet way, the way most tragedies are, the kind where nothing bad happens, you just never did anything that mattered. Memento Mori, remember you will die, that's not morbid, that's clarifying, because the awareness of death is what makes life urgent. It's what separates the people who build from the people who waste. The people who know they're running out of time don't scroll for 6 hours. They don't trade their existence for dopamine, they build, because they understand that time is the only resource that matters, and once it's gone forever. Seneca wrote an entire essay on this, on the shortness of life, and the core argument is simple: life is not short, you just waste most of it. You spend it on things that don't matter, on distractions, on trivialities, on other people's priorities, and then at the end, you look back and wonder where it all went. You wonder why you never did the thing you always said you'd do, why you never became the person you thought you'd become, why your life feels like it passed in a blur. It passed in a blur because you lived it in fragments. You never focused, you never went deep, you never built anything that required sustained effort over time. You just consumed, and consumption doesn't create memory, it doesn't create meaning, it just fills time, and time filled with nothing is time wasted. So here's the question: what do you want your life to be? A long-form video or a short? A library of work or a scrolling feed? Something that lasts or something that disappears the second it's over? Because you can't have both. You can't build depth while living in fragments. You can't create legacy while consuming trivia. You have to choose. And the choice is not theoretical. It's happening right now. Every time you pick up your phone, every time you open the app, every time you choose the dopamine hit over the deep work, you're choosing the short over the long. You're choosing to fragment your existence instead of building it, and those choices accumulate, they compound, and eventually they become your life. The clock is running. It started the day you were born, and it won't stop until you're gone. And every second you spend scrolling is a second you'll never get back. A second that could have been used to build something, create something, become someone. A second that's now just gone, traded for glass, for nothing. Seneca's warning is still true. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. You don't have a time problem, you have a priority problem, and the solution is not more time. It's better choices, it's monk mode, it's deep work, it's refusing to live your life like a short. Your life is long form, treat it that way. This video is over, you made it to the end. Most people didn't. Most people swiped away 30 seconds in, but you're still here, so now you have a choice. You can click the next video. Let the autoplay pull you back into the feed. Spend the next 3 hours watching content you'll forget by tomorrow. Or you can stop, close the app, put the phone down, and go build something. Your life is not a short. It's not meant to be consumed in 15-second intervals. It's meant to be built deep, slow, deliberately. Seneca was right. Life is long enough if you don't waste it. The clock is running. Stop scrolling, go build.